Hello. Apparently we're all buffering at the moment. How we all doing? This should be coming through. Yeah, I can see it coming through. I'm just loading into a server right now. I'm not sure what the plan is today. I'm doing alright. Still feeling a bit sleepy. Choo-chooing about. Okay. I was like, what the hell is choo-chooing? Choo-chin. Choo-chooing. No, like in half an hour, there's going to be some Mongrel Squad guys getting on to do some piracy ops. So I may end up supporting them, just picking up boxes. Right now, I'm waiting to load into a server and I'm pretty sure the server's dropped on me. No, the entities are sitting high. Hello, Cole. It's struggling to load the server. Man, I haven't really had much. The desire to play Star Citizen at the moment is starting to dwindle. I've never really cared much about making numbers bigger, which seems to be the only real thing. Got an exit to menu thing, so my server must have crashed. Yeah, buddy, the desire to make numbers get bigger has never been one of my motivations for playing. Fortunately, there's not a lot else going on at the moment. Okay, I can't join an Asian server because it says it's full. Let's try a US server. So Spectrum. Last activity. Positive Piracy. I recognize that name though. Oh man. Alright, here we are. We're in game. What's up, Nelson? Finally chat loaded. Yeah, this account I only play this account 2 days a week. And technically, I wouldn't, like, my cartel character is actually in prison. Okay. So I got a shit ton of kit here. Alright, chat saying a lot of... got a lot of 30Ks in the last hour.
Hello.
Jesus. What the... Hello? What's going on, man?
My microphone is doing weird things lately.
Yeah, I don't know how, but your microphone is like extremely loud now.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Sometimes like Logitech sometimes thinks I set the sensitivity to 0. Sometimes at 150.
The crazy thing is I'm routing it through I'm routing Gilded through voice meter banana via an virtual audio cable. I've reduced Gilded by negative 10 decibels, and you're still coming in loud. Kestrel just called out a target. Did you want to jump up and help Kestrel out with that target? I may end up joining on those guys once they've got the target.
But yeah. Up there. I'm loaded in. Right then, I'll hop channels. I'll see you later.
Just put a call out because I will help out with the moving of the box and stuff. But yeah.
Alright.
Let me know if you guys get it. Why is my cartel camera background not showing? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go face cam. Switch. So for now, I'm just going to get myself positioned down into dead space. But the intent is that one of the things that the cartel does is support piracy ops by essentially moving stolen goods. Holy fuck, that train just... Anyway. The plan tonight was to actually go out there and try and do some drug smuggling.
Step away from the platform edge when train is approaching.
So I'll probably end up taking a smaller ship.
Next stop, Tisa Spaceport. Now arriving, Tisa Spaceport. Please watch your step when disembarking the train.
Sometimes you get lucky and you can see ships coming out.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Alright, what I'm gonna do... I'm gonna relocate up to Microtech in anticipation for these guys needing me, and then I'll start moving some cargo up around that way. But they put a call out for somebody tick trading, so I'm just gonna wait for them to let me know that they've actually got the target. In which case I'll go and support it. Reflex beam, extra magazines. There should be heaps. I don't need two of those. Right. Gonna be kitted out to fight.
You are clear to launch.
Launch complete. Landing gear up.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Oh man. I need to plan the cartel stream a bit better. Unfortunately, the majority of the cartel aren't able to play around this time, or do cartel activities for the ones who are playing. So I need to plan this stream out in a way that I can do a lot of solo stuff, but also focus on trying to recruit people. This is taking forever. Sorry, I had the missus drop in just to bloody tell me some stuff that the kids weren't listening to her. Fortunately, I didn't have to get up, obviously. But yeah, finding some activities I can do with the cartel, do it as a cartel member, but also contribute to the, you know, advertising their cartel to the rest of the Star Citizen community. Like box moving stolen commodities is only one thing that they can do. Preferably though, you'd have multiple people there, but you're doing it, having an entire crew. Unfortunately though, because of the time that I'm streaming at, we don't have many people. At the moment it won't be going anywhere because my stupid thing decided to, what's it called, start spinning. No, I'm not going to jump down with it. I'm actually moving up to microtech and pre-positioning this ship ready to support. There's got a piracy group out at the moment. They've got a potential target. So I'm not going to go straight to microtech. Pretty much they're waiting for this hauler to finish tick trading, then they'll interdict. Whether or not they're going to need me is another thing. Welcome, by the way, Path. Pick up some diamonds before I move out. Yeah, I'll get to microtech. I'll sell the diamonds at New Babbage. And go up to Port Tressler. Switch to a smaller ship, and I'll probably look at trying to do some drug running. While I'm waiting for the raider team that's out doing their piracy thing. Then I'll probably jump on their server.
Quantum drive is now off. Man. We've been seeing a drop in targets over the last week. Less haulers gold, like trying to tick trade. Few more barrel haulers. But yeah, it's I don't know, either it's a lull in target activity, or the gold rush is dead.
got pirated into oblivion by all the tourists. No, Nelson, it's not a pack rat stream. It's a cartel stream. I'm just being practical and grabbing some diamonds before I head up to New Babbage. No reason to haul an empty load. Or empty ship. Well, unfortunately, Hurston doesn't have any illegal commodities. So I need to purchase legal ones. I'm moving up to Microtech. Gonna operate around there for a bit. Transfer some of this stuff around. Not gonna buy illegal cargo slash drives? Mate, there's nothing around here. Plus I'm on my way up to New Microtech to do all that. So that's all that there, and I'll just fill the rest up with aluminium. If it would let me. Anyway, the black market activity will come if the raider team's successful. I'll meet up with them, load all the cargo from the target that they pirate onto the cat, and then take it to sell. It's just bad practice to fly around with an empty hauling ship. Yeah, I'll leave it there for now. Where's my escort and turret gunner? Mate, I'm in Hurston right now. Nobody fucking comes here to pirate. My armor and weapons? I've got weapons. And I do the smart thing and I keep my armor on my ship. And if I need it, I'll grab it. I'm not concerned about escorts and turret gunners at the moment. That body was not there before. Force. Alright. See, turrets and escorts, really you should only be utilized if you're going to trade high-risk commodities in a high-risk area. Yeah, I'm quite confident that I'm not going to have to deal with any pirates around Hurston, primarily because of the amount of hauler activity on Microtech. See, pirates are going to go where the targets are. Especially if they're tourists and they don't know any better. Which is why, whenever I do my pack rat stream and if I'm cargo hauling with them, we come down to Hurston because it's safer. We don't make as much, but we're also not sitting there tick trading. Which is what a lot of haulers are doing. Well, that's one of the downsides of tick trading is like you're taking the risk that somebody's going to come across your ship. And because everybody knows about it, they will all come down to, you know, SMO 18. You're literally trying to hide on servers. What's up, Silence?
Good morning.
It's evening where I'm at, man. But hello.
Good morning.
On my way to Microtech at the moment to position my Caterpillar. The guys in the channel above us have a potential tick trader, so they're going to hit that more than likely. More than likely they'll succeed and there'll be enough there that we can put it onto this Caterpillar. But until then, I'm going to sell off the cargo that I've got at Microtech, land this ship at Tressler, and then swap to something a little bit more appropriate for running drugs. Tell us in Nelson. Just don't tell us in the stream here. Tell us in Mongrel Corps comms. I don't think I've upgraded the quantum drive in this yet.
I thought that was your free fly Caterpillar. Did you get yourself a real one after that?
Yeah, I bought one. Yeah. I transferred
So I
some
know.
credits from my main to this one, and I had enough credits to buy a Caterpillar as well on this one already.
I was stuck between getting a Caterpillar for the ease of transfer and getting a C2 for the amount.
Yeah.
But since I couldn't buy a C2 where I was, because I was in Louisville, I was like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, until we're at like the C2 would actually be more useful for the pack rats for doing other activities like obviously cargo running, but also like transport of ground vehicles, because we could then utilize you guys to, you know, transport the tonks for us, ballistas and all the ground vehicles that we'd need for a jump town. You guys come in, drop them off, and then, you know, we take over them. Lexalotl, you guys think selling accounts should be allowed? Don't really care. Either way, like if you want to sell your account, fine. Somebody wants to buy your account, fine. Like, at the end of the day, I don't really think it should matter.
For me, it definitely depends on the scenario. For Star Citizen, there isn't really a competitive, like, ranking system. So what do you gain and what do you lose from it? I mean, yes, CIG loses the potential income from having a new player, but purchase a starter pack, but frankly, that's not my problem. But for ranked stuff, I play CSGO at a high level. Buying other people's accounts means being placed into the lower ranks, you can smurf easier. And I'm absolutely against smurfing. But as I just pointed out, that's not really a thing in Star Citizen. I guess it does offer a way out for people that are really, really burnt by the game. I'm still at the harbor point I was from last night's ops.
Oh, nice.
We didn't have much activity in the 4 hours we were there, so we decided to play Cards Against Humanity instead. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, we're starting to see a dwindle in target activity a lot. Yeah, like in a game like Star Citizen with account selling, it's one of those things, it's kind of like the grey market. Like CIG allows it to happen. If they really wanted to crack down, they would. And I know they don't really like it when people sell their accounts, but it's one of those situations where it's like, well, if the owner can't get a refund, this is the next best option. Because that's the main reason why people are selling their accounts. They're like, I don't want... I've decided that I don't want to wait for this game anymore. I've got this, account here. I want to recover my money as much as I can. So, I'm going to get rid of it. And CIG won't give them a refund. And there's value. At the end, that's how a free market works. There's been lots of people leaving the game ever since 2012. I've been playing since, was it the Arena Commander module came out? At the end of the day, it comes down to how patient you are. Like, if you don't want to wait, that's fine. If you feel like you spend too much money in the game, that's fine. Sell your account, do what you want. It's one of those situations where it's like, I knew from the start after learning about this game, I spent 3 months investigating this game before I even considered buying a package. Ah, Judge Chaos from Chaos Squad. But that's one of the problems, is that for me, when I backed Star Citizen, it was still the idea. And it was only just starting to come into fruition. Like, the most that you could do was go into a hangar. Those hangars we don't even have anymore, because they updated them. And the reality behind, the reality behind what we're facing is that as the games progress further and newer people buy into the game, they're expecting more from the product because it looks closer to a final product. I don't agree with what CIG does when it comes to their their patch cinematics that they do. I don't agree with that. I sincerely believe that they should actually be showcasing their game as is, warts and all, but they misrepresent their game, through the cinematic trailers that they create for each patch. They look great, and that's their intent, but they're trying to sell a product there, but I don't agree with that marketing tactic. Yeah, it is. The thing is, though, is like CIG could, if they really wanted to, start, like pushing even harder on FOMO marketing than what they already are. And they know that.
I slightly disagree with your point. Those cinematics, as far as I remember, they're usually coming up during like Inside Star Citizen stuff. For me, the actual advertisements are, you know, the chip release adverts, which we haven't seen one in a really fucking long time.
Yeah. Well,
For me, those cinematics are more of a creative license thing than an advertising thing, which is why I like them the way they are. Because I mean, most of them have been made so it's obvious that they're fake.
Yeah, but every patch we
Maybe
get
that's
a
just because I know what
cinematic
it
trailer.
is.
Every patch we get a cinematic trailer to represent that patch. You know, these are the new features that they're adding. You know, this is all the cool new stuff that you can do. And I see that, I'm like, yeah, but that's not what the, you know, average player's experience is going to be. And the argument, and you know, this leans into that FOMO. You know, the argument, oh, you only need a $45 starter pack and that's it. It's like, yeah, cool, but people want more. And if they believe that they can achieve more by spending a little bit more money to save themselves time in game, then they'll spend more. And that's the thing, is like, I'm pretty sure CIG's got the data for it, but I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a time frame. You know, it's going to be a curve of, you know, from when a person backs Star Citizen, you know, purchases their account, backs Star Citizen, to, you know, a time frame where they're spending the most amount of money, and then it dips off, and they try and schedule their marketing campaigns to target the times where you see the drop off, to leverage FOMO so that you keep milking the cow. Well, that's one of the reasons why I've never really focused on, like, you know, I track CIG's development of the game quite closely, but I don't focus it on as, like, you know, a reason for backing. Like, to me, that's just the plus. I want the game, and, you know, my understanding from the start was that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But they're essentially building a game that is like several games in one. And they're doing that and also building another game. So for me, when it comes to, you know, Star Citizen and my expectations, like, it is frustrating, man. It is frustrating as fuck. But at the same time, like, you know, for as long as I've played, there has always been progress. It's been glacial, but there's progress. Hazard, hello. What am I doing with the cartel today? Well, right now I'm kind of on standby waiting for the raider team that's doing Piracy. And, oh. Well, they had a target. It may have disappeared. Yeah, Lex, I understand that. It's one of the reasons why I created an organization and then, you know, tried to focus on building it up. But my focus with Star Citizen has never been like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, just make numbers go big. Which is ironic considering I do Piracy gameplay. It's always been about the experience and the stories. Which is why, like, Ark, Atlas, H1Z1, DayZ. Never got to play Rust, but it has an influence there. Those games have had a huge influence on the way I perceive Star Citizen, from the perspective that of player-generated content is always going to be, you know, the way forward with a game like this. And that's where you're going to get the most out of it. And playing it with other people, you know, is important too. Which is why I can understand, you know, like the guys that you normally would play with art. But that's kind of where, you know, I guess being a bit more adventurous with your, you know, what you want to do. And just going, you know what, I'm going to, you know, go out there and just try something different. I'm going to try and play with other people. Help if I actually select the right place. Play with other people, see what I can do, you know, see what happens. But it's not very, you know, the first step is always going to be the hardest with it. But when I, you know, first started playing with Mongrel Squad, when I first formed Mongrel Squad and started playing, you know, I had a couple of friends that, you know, had joined. none of them play anymore. Pretty much, I've just, you know, kept myself going, kept pushing forward, you know, just played the game, recruited people into Mongrel Squad, made more friends, you know, who play the game. The people who, you know, have stopped, they'll eventually come back. And when they do, they'll come back into an organization that's, you know, full of people that they can make friends with too.
Now who's the fucking Care Bear? But you do make a really strong point, and that's one thing that I know you always advocate for, is that player-made content. Speaking of which, I have now made an upgrade to your caterpillar.
To mine or yours?
To yours.
Okay, how'd you do that? Or did you
You'll
just
see it
purchase
when you
something?
come out.
Okay.
I've made an upgrade. Because it's dark, I don't know if you'll be able to notice, but we'll see if you do.
Mario, you weren't cool enough to get hunted by the overlords. Thing is, Lex, like when it comes to Star Citizen, like piracy in of itself now, the skill ceiling's been reduced so much, it's full of tourists. And it's actually kind of polluting the gameplay in a bit, which makes me sound like a bloody purist dickhead, but for me, you know, piracy should be a lot higher in, you know, elevation of gameplay. But for us to, you know, work that out and to go through all those experiences, we had to seek it out. That's one of the things that I think, you know, a lot of people kind of have missed. Is that, you know, right now piracy is a flavor of the month, but those who seek it out and, you know, keep pushing, keep trying, looking to seek it out, will eventually find what they're looking for. Did I see one of the death threats that one of the guys got? Was that one of the chat messages? In, was that in Mongrel Squad All Comms or Mongrel Corps All Comms? Wait, no, that was, wasn't that Kingy? Yeah, no, I remember reading that. That was fucked up. Old mate fucking stalked his account in-game and then worked out his Instagram. And then started sending him messages there. It was,
I see you.
is that your... Well, that's a cutlass. Well, dead cutlass. Dead Andromeda.
I think, since you haven't said anything yet, I think it's best if you go into your pilot seat and press F4, and you'll see what upgrade you got.
Okay.
You're not going to see it from down there.
To be honest, I'm pretty sure old mate's just all talk, one of those internet trolls that believes that they're hidden behind their screen. No, here's the thing, guys. It wasn't even somebody that we had pirated. It was just a random person that apparently knows about Mongrel Squad and doesn't like us.
Engines online.
Ah, there it is.
You have a new turret.
I'll tell you something, man. I wish they actually did have a platform that you could land a small fighter on.
Dude, for real, you could totally do the front 4 bays as like 2 or 3 landing spots. Like, I don't see it being a good idea to just have a landing port, but maybe if there was an add-on for ships, like an upgrade to landing gear that they hold onto stuff better,
Yeah.
but it's only available to certain ships, like size-wise.
Well, we do have
That
the
would defeat
Fury
the point
now.
of Liberator.
We do have the Fury, which can fit in Caterpillar cargo modules. That was actually one of the things that I wanted to talk about with Crux and yourself when it comes to supporting piracy ops. Because I was thinking about it, and I'm like, alright, the largest ship that we're going to be pirating, normally it's going to be one ship at a time. It's a C2, 696 cargo, SE of cargo. Caterpillar obviously can't carry it all, so bringing 2 Caterpillars makes the most amount of sense. Also, if you wanted to unload the ships quickly, bringing two fully crewed Caterpillars makes light work of that particular scenario. But the thing is that neither Caterpillar will be filled all the way up. So you've got leftover space, and my thought process is that realistically for a Caterpillar to defend itself adequately, you need your turret gunners, but you also need a fighter that can pursue the QED ship and harass it. And that's one of the things I think out of all of this where, like, having a Fury, I would probably, if it fits, I'd stick it in the front module, and I just would load the side ones full of cargo. And if we end up in a position where, like, we need a turret, like, we're being attacked and they've got their QED and they've got a Mantis, because that's the main threat. If they have a Mantis with a snare, like the Caterpillar, it doesn't matter how good the turret gunners are, the Caterpillar's never going to be able to close. But if you have a snub fighter that can go and, close with a Mantis and harass it, or even just blow an engine off to give you your cargo ship enough time to be able to get out of its snare to jump away, then I think it's kind of worth sacrificing that cargo space. The problem though is like the amount of time that you've got filling it up, and because it's in the front module, you can't get to it easily. So it may end up having to be the module that's closest to the crew quarters. Path, there's a lot of people who don't like Mongrel Squad. Quite a few people who don't like us. And, it's understandable. I always laugh though when they try and blame us for ruining the game. Thanks for dropping in, Lex. Good luck on your search, man. If you're keen, you can always give the Mongrel Auxiliaries a go. It's a casual piracy org, there's always people on. Oh, you're looking for a pirate org to buy your account, alright. I misread that. No worries, man. Good luck with your search, mate. Alright, so I'm going to take this up to Port Tressler, land up there, and then I'm going to switch to... I've got a Taurus, so I think I need to reclaim it though. So I'll switch to that. And I'm pretty sure my count is wrong there as well. Yeah, I knew it would be.
just got overtaken by a nomad.
That doesn't surprise me.
Nope.
Stream Elements does a really poor job of keeping track of statistics for YouTube.
Why do you use Stream Elements and not OBS?
No, I use OBS. Like, so Stream Elements itself
Oh
is
yeah,
a
no, I just
web-based service for streaming.
I was thinking of
Providing-
Streamlabs.
Yeah. No, I don't use Streamlabs. Fuck no. Fuck that. Like, what? Why would I pay for something that I could use for free that does everything just as well, and I can pick and choose the
If not
components
better.
for that? Yeah.
The only advantage I see for Streamlabs is that the manual effort is less. But
Well, that's just it though. Like,
Right.
setting up OBS, it wasn't really much. For me, it wasn't difficult setting up OBS. I had no issues.
I think it's when you want to jump to a more professional state, like when you're starting out for the first time doing this sort of thing, you don't know what you're doing at all. It can seem pretty interesting. I also have the Stream Elements plugin. I've just more or less never used it ever since it forked in a Windows update. I haven't seen the advantage for me just yet.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, man, it's like, I don't use the Stream Elements plugin on OBS because it does break fairly frequently. Pretty much every patch that OBS has, Stream Elements will break until they fix or catch up. But the widgets and all of that with Stream Elements work really well, and you can add them to OBS as browser sources. So when like my game PC setup and my streaming PC setup pretty much use the same sources from Stream Elements, and I didn't have to, like, you know, transfer any files or any of that shit over. It was literally just copy paste the URL and bam, it's working. Takes a little bit to, you know, get your head around how it's set up on Stream Elements and, you know, the widgets and the components and all that, but you know, you can work it out. My main problem is like YouTube doesn't provide anywhere near the same functionality as what Twitch does when it comes to supporting, you know, streamers and audience engagement. So I'm kind of sitting here like, well, you know, if I want to do channel points, for example, I'm going to have to go to a third-party source for it. And I'm already using a third-party source in Stream Elements, but Stream Elements tries to stay as close to YouTube's API as possible. Which means that I end up using two third-party sources to, you know, achieve functionality that Twitch has built into it. And I've actually been looking at Twitch to see if it would be worth going back to, because I have an account there as well. And I could be streaming there. But myself personally, like, I prefer the, you know, what I've got with YouTube in that everything's here. I'm on one platform, everything that I need is on the one platform. But, you know, it's pretty much not even a debate. Like, Twitch is set up really well for audience engagement from the content creator and their audience, whereas YouTube is more or less, they just slapped streaming in there and went, yeah, this is a thing. Now you guys can stream to your audience, but your main focus should still be on making, you know, videos that you upload to your channel. Like, one of the problems that I have with YouTube's video editor is that if I want to cut down a stream and turn it into its own video, I'm just cutting down the stream, that's it. And if I want to, like, take chunks out of the same stream to make different videos, it's not letting me.
Couldn't you, though, do that separately? You stream and record at the same time?
Oh yeah, that's normally what I do, but I also have, you know, using a bit of program and magic, I can also download the 1080p resolutions of my streams and then cut it from there. But it's one of those things where it's like Twitch's advantage, you know, in this regard is that you can, like, take your stream, cut it up into highlights, you know, of whatever length you want. You can have that on your Twitch channel, and then you can port it over to YouTube, which is what I actually have done with a lot of my past piracy videos that's on this channel. Yeah, Blake. Twitch now has exclusivity rules for everyone now. It changed like at the start of June. I'm just gonna fuel up before I jump out.
It does remind me of. I think I'm aware of one main advantage that Streamlabs has, and that's you can record and stream at the same time, but you can set different, let's call it items for the separate ones. So you can stream and have your chat showing on stream, but when you record, that can be hidden.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't seen a way to do that in OBS or in the Twitch studio, which
There will be a plugin.
I would like to have.
Yeah, no, I get
Probably.
that. 100%. I'm just gonna leave the kit on this caterpillar because I will forget. I'll leave it all on here. I can purchase some more kit while I'm here. So, caterpillar. Keep that on me. I don't need those. Don't need that. Yeah, I can purchase more while I'm here. Like, I was considering, streaming on Twitch until they changed their exclusivity rules. Because it used to be different. Like, what was it? I think halfway through last year, they changed it because Twitch never had exclusivity. Or had an exclusivity rule, but they never really enforced it. And then all of a sudden they did it, and then, a couple of years later they changed it so that you could stream anywhere, and then a couple of months ago they made it exclusive again. Yeah, one of the problems with Twitch is that because their focus is always on trying to promote people who are live, finding content to watch from previous streams is quite difficult to do because they're hyper focused on live. Like, put my caterpillar away and call up another ship.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Do you want me to jump in as turret/snub, or do you want me to stay in the arrow?
Probably just stay in the arrow, man. I'm gonna need somebody there. I'll be in a Taurus. 5 minutes on claim.
Please visit us again.
Like, you can set your Twitch channel up so that you can show your previous broadcasts, your previous streams, but it's limited to how far back you can go. Depending on
7 days.
it depends on your status. So if you're an affiliate, it's a little bit longer.
Yeah.
If you're a partner, it's even longer.
Partner was 90 days last time I looked.
But you can also
affiliate might have been in 14.
Yeah, but they expect you, and the expectation is that you're turning your live streams into highlights, and you can save your highlights for longer. That's what they're expecting you to do. It's just a lot of streamers don't bother, and they just treat it as though it's like temporary content. It kind of fits better, like creates this whole, once again, FOMO, creates a bit of FOMO there.
Well, they said in the statement where they said that they're reducing that time, they said that most people don't even use it in the first place.
Yeah, that's right.
I think one reason is, especially the bigger content creators that have a team, they have their highlights and throw them onto YouTube. / they have an editor grab it and throw it onto YouTube.
Yeah, they have somebody else there that they can utilize. But it's not a good enough excuse in my mind that you go, oh, well, they've got editors and that. It's like, just take a bit of time out to do it yourself. Like, it really isn't that hard to use. It's just developing the habit of doing it. And you got to know, okay, what's worth actually highlighting in the stream. Because for me, I'd like pull, like, I'd be doing a 3-hour stream, us trying to do piracy. And, the usual length of hits would be like, 10 to 15 minutes. And we'd do like 2 or 3 hits. So I'd cycle through the entire, 3 hours of stream looking to highlight, 10 to 15 minute hits. But it was worthwhile because I could highlight it for Twitch, but then I could also port it across to YouTube.
That's why markers are also useful.
Yeah, well, I bloody never worked that one out.
It's also an interesting thing that you just said there. You do a 3-hour stream. I think this is what quite a lot of new content creators or people that want to get into it aren't aware of, that you don't need to do an 8-hour stream straight off the bat. And then that's especially another reason why people aren't using the highlight. Keep it nice and short.
You've got a cargo. You've got an M2 full of cargo. Alright. Might help if I turn the chat on. Alright. I'm gonna hop. There we go. I'm gonna hop servers. You're coming too, Silence? I'm just gonna say yes. Just in time. I was gonna start doing some bloody drug hauling, but I guess we're going to go move some pirated booty. Alright, I'm just joining on the server now. Were you going to bring your caterpillar along as well? It's an M2, so we should be able to fit it all on the one cat. My caterpillar's empty. Impromptu pack rat stream? No, we'll just throw it onto the one cat. I'll get you to... Are you joining on the server now?
Yes.
Darsley, I'm just
Hey,
joining
chaps.
on... Hello. Why are you so loud? How are you so loud? It's alright, go talk again. Darsley?
You sorted?
Yeah, it should be good enough.
Cool. Silence, I haven't got you on friends list, mate. If you just want to join on Agents, then I'll send you a friend request and a party invite.
Way ahead of you. I'm in the server.
Cool, cool.
Who are we jumping to, man?
Loki.
Loki? Roger. Silence, I'll get you to jump onto the caterpillar with me, and we'll just go together.
Naturally.
Cole. The cartel also does the moving of stolen cargo. Pretty much pack rats and cartel do the same thing. It's actually supposed to be a cartel thing of moving stolen cargo. It's just we get the pack rats to help out too.
In the current state of numbers and the game, what we've come to agreement on is that the actual selling should be cartel's responsibility since it's the illegal good, but we'll help out moving stuff and we'll take over selling if it has to be that. We'll fine with that. But moving the cargo is fair game if we have the spare hands. We did a trial run of the mobile harbor yesterday, and a few things did pop up that could require improvement. but I'll throw them into our chat after the stream, and then we'll move on to the ESO to look at as well. I think it was worth it.
That's why we're doing it, to learn.
Mm-hmm.
We're still decked out.
You talked about a few minutes ago the Fury being in the front cargo area. If we
I don't know if it
do a
fits.
bit of maths, I mean, if it fits, right? If it does fit, maybe backwards, I don't know. If it does fit, what one could do is calculate how much spare room we have, because we're using those two caterpillars. Maybe you can get away with not fully filling up the central hallway by one box, so you can move through it.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, at the front one from the ladder.
I think for just ease of operations, it'd just be better. We put it. The rearmost pod just becomes the Fury hangar. This is the second time that I've
I
not been
haven't
able to
seen it
refill.
inside. I'm gonna presume there's plenty of room to walk around the Fury, though.
Yeah.
Alright.
100%. That 500k medical beacon, it's like... Alright. I'm gonna find a landing pad quickly so that I can try and repair, or not repair, bloody refill. Yeah, pretty much the Fury is designed to fit in most ships, and CIG even did a little showcase, a little cinematic of a Fury, of Furies coming out of a caterpillar at a jump town.
I love that cinematic. I want to watch it again now.
There's debris on
I
the
went impromptu react and rant stream.
Gotta be careful that I don't do that. There's been a few times where I just want to get on Spectrum and just start going off.
Alright, it's 50 seconds. I'm watching this if you don't tell me to wait.
Alright, let's see if I can refill here. Right, that might be an issue. We'll need to get fuel before we jump to sell. Who the fuck is Loki? Oh, there.
I'm going to jump back up, guys.
No worries, man. What the fuck are they doing all the way up there? I burn most of my fuel getting to them.
Launch complete.
Well, I now have a semi. But it does remind me of one issue, and that's some ships that we want to use just aren't purchasable in game yet.
Yeah.
And I'm following you very much on that, as I'm not going to force anyone to buy ships. If they have them, that's cool, but I'm not going to plan tactics around those ships either.
Hmm. Well, you know, I think personally, like if we go for the mobile harbor concept and we start utilizing it more, like I can start, you know, like for myself, I can, you know, start telling Mongrel Squad we need to move back to using distortion damage again, disabling ships so that we can board and move them. for the purpose of taking them to a mobile harbour. The only problem that we've got is personal transport beacons, and if somebody's smart enough to, set one of those up, they'll have access to the mobile harbour.
Couldn't we soft def the ship one? Like, we'll have to figure this out.
Sometimes soft death
still.
still... Well, yeah, you could soft death it, but sometimes it'll still let you QT to a soft death ship. We want some broadside modules for the Caterpillar, concealed guns. 100%, like, there's so much more that they could do with a Caterpillar. It's really disappointing that they're not putting as much focus there onto the ship. Like, the Caterpillar, I've always liked the Caterpillar. For its functionality. A problem...
Isn't it also the ship selling itself for the modularity?
Yeah. Yeah, like, this is one of the ships that's supposed to be the most modular in terms of these cargo pods. Like, those are just cargo modules. You could swap them out. But they haven't talked about them in years. Like, they talked about, medical modules, barracks modules, a repair module. What else was there? A docking module, which had like 4 docking collars. I don't know if that will be a thing now, considering how the direction that they're going for docking ships. Might be.
But you know what I want? Extender module with reinforced hull, allowing you to put 2 extra modules or 3 extra modules to the front of it, and just chain them up and build a fucking highway all the way from Hurston to Microtech, so you can walk the way there.
Testing comms, can you guys hear me on VoIP?
Copy.
Alright, we're on the way. We just arrived on site.
Are you also seeing Melson's marker doing a...
Yeah, he's probably an
how
EVA.
to describe it?
Vibrating. So are we unloading at the rear of the ship, yeah?
Yeah.
Roger, we'll move there. We're closing slowly. Honestly impressed that VoIP's working. It breaks so frequently. Right, we're approaching from its 10 o'clock. I'm gonna swing around. Ooh, it's got a camo job on it. Right, they've already got some boxes out there. Pretty sure I'm way off. I'm gonna pitch up.
Can you also, yeah.
How far away are we from them?
I am 90 from Nelson.
90?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move
We're
forward.
both at the edge of the cargo. Yeah.
Your left, please. Straight.
Want to get us just outside of range so you're not tractor beaming directly from the ship?
Yep, sounds good. Can you also tilt to your starboard side?
How's that?
Yeah.
I'll pitch
I
up a
have
little bit.
second
Flatten out.
front.
Alright.
If you're doing that, you can also go down a little, but it doesn't really matter.
How's that? I've just gone down a little bit.
Rotate another 5-10 degrees. Start.
How's that?
Another 5. Perfect.
Roger. Alright, I'm gonna get out of the chair. Let me know if the ship starts moving. Shouldn't.
How in the fuck did you lose that cargo box?
It's really bugging. If I pick something up, it flies around. All that.
Cargo box. Yeah. He's trying to get out of doing box moving duty, isn't he?
He's watching the stream, so he'll hear you.
One thing we're thinking of implementing as a rule in box moving is when you have multi-stage moving such as here, once you've let go of a box, you let go of the box. So that not 10 people are trying to grab it. Speaking of which, I think we're barely too far away. Can't reach these.
They just need to rip him out into space a bit further. Actually, I'm gonna strafe to the right a little bit. I'm gonna strafe the ship to the right a little bit more, so we're a little bit closer.
If you're more so fast, someone.
I think no one's actually moving boxes now.
It's probably desync there, Doug. That should be good.
Just tell me if he's going far enough.
Yeah, these are good. Good distance. We need to get that bloody macro sorted out.
I'm just using zero gravity. I'm giving them a little bit of oomph and then just dodging out of the way, letting them go and moving out of the way.
Right. Got a empty slot. Alright, fixed it.
One thing we also were keen on trying out, without too much high hopes, is scooping up cargo with a ship.
I don't think that has ever worked anytime we've tried doing it.
Yeah, but when was the last time we tried doing it?
Ours was at the start of 318. We were trying to use a carrot's hanger to do it, and it just boxes clipped into the carrack, and then the carrack exploded.
The hangar, so the area that doesn't have a dedicated cargo bay.
No, it has gravity though.
Yeah, it doesn't have a cargo bay.
Yeah.
What if the boxes auto-snap to the grid?
They won't do that.
Probably not. But we're interested in giving it a shot.
My tractor beam is too big.
Bring back the space hoover. 100%. Like, they need to add a space hoover for the collection of boxes. I don't understand, like, what they're waiting on for ship-based tractor beams. Like, they don't need to be the huge ones yet. Might need to conduct the CR blessing ritual. I don't have any money to be spending on the JPEGs at the moment. Do it. This. Box loading stream. All those boxes moving. There's a couple of loose ones I'm gonna grab.
I don't really have anything in the way of aiming since I'm doing this backwards.
That's alright. You pretty much, they're all clustering around the same spot that we can all get to, so that's all that matters. It's only a couple of boxes that are just not going where they're supposed to.
Is this all this? Oh no, yeah, it is. Just a render distance thing.
So how'd you get this target? Did that go through in game silence?
Impregnated with the Pisces.
Impregnated with a Pisces. Did they Alt F4 or did they stick around? Was there a boarding action?
Invade the ship.
He stuck around, and then when we had the Piracy, he jumped out and tried to steal it. Kestrels flew, but that was the last we saw of it.
Oh, nice.
You tried.
Looks like it needs a David Attenborough or something about an annual box migration. Yeah. I've got hours of footage of box moving. I could definitely do something like that.
I have spare beams if you want to try one out.
Oh god. What? I'm fucking in the trenches right now trying to move these boxes. The desync is real. What the? Trying to do the proactive thing here with these boxes and get a couple moving towards me, but somebody keeps snatching the second one.
Once the box is in movement, don't touch it if it's not yours. Ay. I think they just don't want to grab one that's so far away so they don't have to scroll so far. They're like, oh, thank you, agent, for bringing it closer. Next time, aim it a little bit better towards my cargo, but I'll take it anyway. Thank you very much. Okay, some really nice close calls here as well. I think something bumped the ship.
Loki's
yeah,
moving.
The ship. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of the way before he bitch slaps me.
I think he's... You good, Loki?
Someone push the ship.
Probably Nelson, so far he managed to move the ship just by having a walk.
Alright.
Okay, had the engine off.
Ah, that's what happened. Alright, silence. Resume the box moving.
It's not the same angle. These boxes are gonna fly the fuck away.
No, just throw them out the back, we can grab them. As long as you throw them out back far enough, we'll grab them.
Alright, your problem. Ah, that's not far enough. Have fun. It is genuinely disorientating when it's moving. It makes me feel nauseous, frankly. Motion sick. Fuck this. Hang on. I can't watch that.
When you finally found a resting spot, it's making me sick.
Right. So we'll have two people throwing boxes out.
Be sick.
You know what would make life significantly easier on on removing boxes on a ship as big as this? If you could turn off the gravity intentionally.
Oh, yeah. We'll turn off the cargo grid so they're not snapped anymore. Then just float the ship.
Do a salt shaker. Move it towards target area and then just counter thrust aggressively and watch it all slide out.
Somebody else grab my fucking box! Step 2, fly away. Step 3, scoop with another C2. Step 4, explode. Because one of those boxes collided with the geometry of the ship instead of staying with the cluster of boxes. What would actually... You know what would actually be cool? If we had a device, because you can get to the top of the cargo boxes in the C2 and the M2 and all that, having a device that you can connect to a series of boxes that, you know, keeps them all connected. So, you know, like you cluster them together. So instead of having, you know, we're moving one SCU boxes at a time, you can cluster, like if for whatever reason the ship's loaded up with one SCU boxes, you can cluster them in a way that you can move them as, you know, like a 4 SCU box or whatever.
I think that would also play into what I was going to mention, is that these boxes are supposed to take damage or be susceptible to damage at some point, maybe.
Yeah.
If you don't use that mechanism, then you know you have the potential of every single cargo box being damaged. You want to use that mechanism when moving multiple boxes, no matter what size they are, turning ones into effective 4s, so that the chance of them being bumped is less because they're attached to each other, instead of thrusting a single box against another single box. Same thing when taking them out.
No, because there's going to be times, Nelson, where you'll end up with like a group of 1 SCU boxes together because they've got different commodities on them. So the idea would be is that you could, you know, cluster 4 different types of boxes, or, you know, however many, by attaching a device that connects them together, and then, you know, you can move them as though they're a 4 SCU box or a 2 SCU or whatever. Because right now the intent is that commodity boxes only hold 1 commodity in it. We may find that the larger ones can, you know, hold multiple commodities. That will be up to really how CIG wants to work that out. Somebody else has grabbed that one. We're getting through this pretty quick.
The zero gravity, it just helps so much with moving them, because as you tried earlier, or maybe still trying now, you can just pull multiple boxes towards you instead of having to pull one, put it in, pull one, put it in. You can have like 3 or 4 en route, and then once they arrive, pick one in and whatever. Same with removing the boxes. I can probably get 3 or 4 by the time one person does a 90-degree twist and pushes it out again. This is one of the several reasons that I'm advocating for the mobile harbour being the main course of where we do this, so that you don't have to do all this crap in atmosphere. And the other thing is get small ships bothering about the atmospheric ones that can then just bring it to a space cargo ship and do the exact same thing, just moving it through zero gravity.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that I think is worth looking at doing once we have, a mobile harbour up and running and we've got enough pack rats or cartel on, or even both, is having, we're finding with the targets that we're pirating that a lot of them, once they realise that they're going to lose, they set self-destruct, cruise control on their ship, point at the ground, and then Alt F4. So then we're in a chase to disable the ship or brick the ship before it explodes so that we can at least attempt to save as much of the cargo as possible. Now, it's been a pain, having to deal with bringing a large ship down, loading all the cargo onto it, and then, then flying it off. But if we could, quickly fill, a couple of smaller ships and just have them ferried to the mobile harbour, and they just fill up a ship. Because what we end up doing is we end up stopping to process a target, and then the pirate group has to redeploy and go back out there once all the cargo's been sold. If we could just quickly slap the cargo onto smaller ships and then take it to the mobile harbour and then hand it off to pack rats and cartel to process, the pirates go back out sooner. And then, depending on how much cargo survived, the pack rats and cartel can then resume ferrying the commodities from the crash site.
It's questionable how much quicker it'll be. With smaller ships you can park them a lot more efficiently, definitely. You do need more hands on deck. However, here's the fun counterpart. You don't necessarily need as much overwatch. When you're processing 700 SU of gold, you do not want anything to happen to that, so you are deploying every single person on overwatch that you can, which means no piracy going on yet. But if it's small boats carrying back and forth, you are saving a significant amount of that cargo, and then you can have a smaller overwatch force.
Well, the other reason for doing it is, additional security in case, for whatever reason, we soft death the ship instead of disabling it, and we're ferrying the cargo off, site. We can put, a ship in one spot, have smaller cargo ships show up to load onto, and then they carry it to the mobile harbour and maintain its security. Whereas if we disable a ship, let it start back up and bring it directly to the mobile harbour, it is a liability. But it depends on the size of the ship. For convenience sake, I would take a C2 to the mobile harbour to handle all of the cross-loading. But if it was a Connie, an Andromeda or something like that, I just, call up a couple of, whole A's. Just have those show up. Because you could load up 2 whole A's relatively quickly.
The extra side of it is also the salvage. Salvaging a C2 in atmosphere, pain, because you don't want to use a reclaimer for that. That's a slow ass ship, lots of fuel and very liable to danger. Get a few vultures in there, that's going to take fucking ever to do that C2. But as you said, Connie, we did this months ago when salvaging came out. With Baron and myself in the vultures, we were just filling up, finishing a Connie, and then the next idiot would come in, we just salvage that. It wouldn't take too long with 2 vultures. And a thing you can absolutely do in atmosphere without much issue.
Yeah, too bad CIG's not fucking selling them in game. It's been out for nearly 6 months. Well, it has been out for over 6 months now. Vulture's been out for over 6 months and they still haven't fucking put it in game to sell.
The next big thing that I'm definitely looking at, which is not even at tier 0 really, is rearm repair. Refueling we've got in, and we have found a fix for the guns being bugged. But I want to be able to take these big ass ships, take out their quantum drive, and give it to someone who needs it. Or the coolers, or the power plants, or the shield batteries.
Or even just being able to sell
damaged.
it. Like sell it off, the larger ones.
It's not that much money yet.
Well,
for the small
not
ones,
to the game.
For the small ship.
Not to the game, to players. You know, like there's going to be a time, and this is one of the reasons why I actually want to try it. You know, encourage the gun running market to actually become more of a thing. Because fucking, you know, the ability to create, you know, for a player generated market to actually start flourishing, you know, build that sort of capability up and get it flourishing, I think is worth, you know, the time and effort to do it. But you know, it starts setting the groundwork for the you know, the ship components and service-based, you know, gameplay.
Too many. I mean, I think now more people are seeing it, but when I tried it 2 years ago, so few people could see the potential. They didn't even want to try and talk to me or even keep me as a contact for when it does become a thing. They was like, no, fuck you, go away. I was like, yeah, great. But I do want to see it happen. It's not my dream job.
The cartel, the cartel has got their price list out now. I need to post it for the entire Mongrel Corps to see. But that's one of the things, you know, like, we've got the pack rat supply and we've got an external supplier as well. We didn't, but yeah, the raider team that's playing did. I'm currently transferring all the shit across. I don't even know what this is. Looks like gold.
I'm gonna hope it's gold and not aluminium.
It's definitely not beryl. Oh god, get the fuck in there! Box.
The corner is probably what you're getting stuck on right now. What I like doing is placing it down in a different cargo grid so it snaps, and then aligning myself so I can just pick it up and move it on the 3 axes. And more often than not, it still works. But depending on the corners, I like leaving it open where there's the more space. So especially for the top row, doing the lower rows first and then doing the top row if it has more space, but to attack from the top rather than the side. I think we're nearly done here. My depth perception isn't best. Actually, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6 rows deep, 4 rows across, and well, still about 3 up. So 4 by 6 by 3 is how much we've got left.
Okay.
So about 70 boxes, give or take.
We'll be able to fit them all in these main modules. I don't think we should need to throw any into the front.
I thought this was a full seat. Oh, it's an M2.
Yeah, it's an M2. If it was a C2, I would have got you to bring your cat.
Yeah. I knew it was an M2. I just forgot about the difference in cargo, but I should have realized because we didn't have a 4 height. little tree. I keep forgetting just how much cargo room the fucking cat has. This is nearly 600, it just doesn't feel like it. Although it's like somewhere 400 and something.
Yeah. Blake, it really depends, like, on the cartel broker that's handling it. Because if they make comms with the person in game, then they can just do it right then and there on the spot. But generally, yeah, like, the expectation is that you join the Mongrel Squad public server so that you can actually... so that the person can put in the request, or else they just end up not being able to, you know, find anybody worth buying merits from. Oh, get back in there. Alright, that module's full. You ended up with a 25-hour sentence yesterday. What did you do? Go on a murderous rampage or something? Still space in this one! My box was stolen from me. Oh man.
Are you complaining about piracy in this game?
Complaining that my boxes were stolen. Damn pirates. You were misbehaving, were you, Blake? Murdering NPCs or players?
Final box, by the way.
Roger.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final box, and I chiefly request that I get started. Well, fucking hell, I'm gonna be waiting a while though.
Didn't realise there was a massive graveyard still behind me, but I'm holding on to this.
Did SPK for 2 hours. What, did you guys lock it down or? Looks like Nelson's taken the M2 away. Oh my god, what is this? What is this EVA? Who's shooting? Who's shooting?
Going up there.
Roger.
With distortions? I want to watch this.
Lightning, this is my box. This is the very last box, and I request that I put it in. So fuck you. And I want to see empty blow up.
Darcy, you meant to let you moved all that fucking aluminium. Oh, mate. What's a crappier commodity than aluminium?
Waste.
Nah, it needs to be in the same coloured box. Scrap? No, I think scrap actually makes more than aluminium. Alright,
Wasn't
so
the
we
way
got
you could sell scrap?
Oh shit! No, you can
Oh yeah,
sell
the
scrap.
scrapyards, I forgot.
Well, the scrapyard's
Yeah, they
pipe,
used
but
to be
there's also
bugs.
a couple of there's also a couple of rest stops. Is that your box, Silence? Have you got your box?
I have my box, but the M2 is about to blow up. I'm gonna casually make my way, I don't want to miss this.
Let me just set the self-destruct and jump out.
Taking a sweet old time.
Buy some missiles!
Hey, soft death, no explosion, fuck you. Try again.
We're not at this distance.
Hey.
There you go. Boom.
Ah!
Yay!
I question if that was worth it. Should have stood closer. I was listening in to the stream on Friday when I went to work about how Allmate came back. I wanted to post in that you guys should leave like 12 boxes on the ship, put them in the form of a penis, and then like actually bring him to it. And be like, oh yeah, we found your ship, or we'll do a transport break into it. Maybe there's still some cargo in there. And just leave him to EVA in, look inside, and there's a massive phallus built there for him.
Old mate was not interested in working for his credits. He didn't want to do anything for it. He pretty much just wanted credits handed over to him, which is why like he was complaining about getting pirated.
I find that ironic, seeing as, you know, I was watching him when we first became aware of him. His original goal to make money was asking for 1 million credits for a hit. Like he wanted to play a hitman going on kill missions for people.
Are you
and
jumping
he's
in?
complaining about people greeting him. I'm trying to, I forgot where the thing is.
It's down here with the
is it
elevator.
ladder? Fuck the elevator. I'm using the ladder. Last man on. But unless he was hitmanning against NPCs, he would be doing PvP as well.
Yeah, old mate just didn't want to work for the credits. You want to do the grind. Which I don't blame him. But at the same time, like having a whinge, oh, I keep getting pirated. Stop fucking going to the place where the pirates are. It's not hard. Go somewhere else. There's other places that you can trade. Go on YouTube, look up Star Citizen making credits. Guarantee you will find plenty of tutorials on how to do it. Problem is though, is like the majority of the larger content creators who have, you know, the reputation of being the ones that, you know, teach you how to make credits, 9 times out of 10 they just choose the easiest route, get their video up, get their clicks and all that. Once they've got the money rolling in, they don't really care after that. They don't update their shit. That said, we do need to do some updated MPA episodes, because some of the weapons, like EMP, really isn't a tool of piracy anymore. Distortion weapons are, direct distortion weapons, but not EMP. It's no longer a staple.
Please tell me you have some new Germans in the org that can do translation. I don't want to go through that again.
Yeah. Heaps.
Perfect. I'm pretty sure I still haven't, and probably never will, the latest episode. Maybe even 2.
Well,
it's so much effort.
I'm using Adobe Premiere now, and it actually, you can download translation language packs. So it uses an AI to auto-detect the language, and then we'll do a loose translation. And then, I think the last one, we actually did a hit with subtitles. And I had Space Dude clean it up, make sure that the translations were accurate. And then I went back over it and made sure it was grammatically correct for English translation. Because some of the, it was direct one-to-one. So it was out of order for English translations. So I ended up going back through and fixing that up. Alright. Alright. Caterpillar's ready to roll. We're on it. We're on our way out now. We do not have enough fuel. Alright, what we're going to have to do, we are going to have to stop. We can get to Cruel 5. Just so that you guys are aware, we don't have enough fuel to get all the way to Crusader and Grim Hex, so we're going to be routing through Cruel 5. And then we're going to jump to Crusader and Eula from there. Yeah, Blake, I think that's one of the things though, like CIG did, was that they made QED very susceptible to distortion damage. But that's the thing, is like, nobody really should be bringing an EMP ship to any piracy ops. I know a lot of mongrels don't like hearing that, but yeah, it's the benefit of the EMP just no longer exists. Even in direct flight combat, utilizing an EMP is actually not worth it in comparison to just using direct distortion weapons. It's because of the change that CIG made, which was, they brought it back in line. So distortion damage got brought back in line with, what was it? The intent for how distortion is supposed to affect components, where once the component's shut down, that's it. You can't apply any more distortion damage to it, and it will recover eventually. Yeah, well that's the problem though, Nelson, is that it's AoE distortion damage, but the cycle time for how long it takes for you to be able to, apply more distortion damage via EMP is way too long. The dissipation rate for distortion damage on ship components is a lot higher than what most EMPs can handle. And if you want it to be more effective, you need to use multiple EMPs in sequence. And I actually did the math for it, and it ended up being like, the Hawk was a superior ship. You could get away with using a Raven, but the Hawk was a superior ship, but you needed to use like 5 of them to be able to maintain suppression, and it would just take too long.
Quantum fuel is at 25%.
That reminds me, the discussion we had earlier was on the videos that CIG produces and has those cinematics. EMP is a really fucking great example of that not playing well, that marketing not playing well with truth. The Antares video, as much as, I fucking loved the video, the story was amazing, but not a thing you will be able to do in game at its current state. At all.
Yeah. Could you pair EMP with distortion? You would need more EMP ships. Like, the EMP ships firing their EMPs versus using direct distortion damage and just utilizing that on its own. Like, the EMPs bring so little extra value to disabling a ship. Like you could EMP burst, but then you'd still be relying on your like I'd say a Hurricane or a Scorpius with distortion weapons on the turret. That would be the way that you'd be disabling ships. The EMPs would add so little. And that's the problem, is like you're bringing ships, like EMP ships are inferior fighters. So you're bringing inferior fighters, you know, to utilize, you know, the one thing that it has that gives it that's supposed to give an advantage over other ships, but you know, most fighters can handle an EMP strike. Like their shields may go down. If you manage to hit them with a shield, you know, like for fighters, if their shields are down, you'll be able to stop them from recharging for a while. But you got to get those shields down. But, you know, you're more than likely fighting the ships that are part of the dogfighting matter. And if you're fighting those ships, you're at a significant disadvantage. What the fuck? Like, trust me, I went through all the steps that I bloody felt appropriate to try and get EMP and bloody distortion damage to work together to achieve, you know, the fastest shutdown times that you could. At the end of the day, you're better off using, you know, if you use 2 Hurricanes or 2 Scorpiuses with, you know, was it 4 XJ3s each? You'll have no issue shutting ships down. You'll shut them down in like 10 or so seconds. I think it's 12. But you need 2 of them. It's actually one of the advantages of using the Super Hornets now. Or the turreted Hornets, is that you can use, you know, mixed distortion repeaters. It's only one person in control of the weapon set, as opposed to if you're using a Hurricane or a Scorpius, you need 2 people, one to fly the ship, the other one to fire the weapons. With a Hornets, it's one person who can do both. And the output, you know, once again, the output is just, the EMPs just add so little. I would rather put somebody in a Hornet that has distortion weapons on it than an EMP ship. Well, that's, Blake, that's an interesting point that you bring up, because that's what a lot of, you know, a lot of pirates were complaining about when the EMP changes were made, where EMP stopped being a one-hit wonder. Because there was a period of time where you could fire one EMP ship, could fire one EMP, and you would shut down a target completely. Alright, we have to land to be able to sell this, or to be able to reload this fuel.
Is the pad not big enough?
No.
Is there even a pad?
There should be.
Failing to see them. Would suggest on the back right, yeah, that looks like it over there.
Yeah, that looks like one.
Could also be those behind us as well. Fuck it.
Which one's closer?
These right there.
These ones, yeah, seen.
Might be able to squeeze on those.
I was able to land on them last time at Tressler.
Yeah, there's 2 sizes though.
This one will fit. Will fit. If this doesn't work though, I'll land in the hangar because we've got a higher chance of it working there.
Oh, if only we had a Starfarer.
Alright, we're down.
GG.
Moment of truth. What? Not even get the services changing.
Shame.
Let me try. I'm gonna go land in the hangar. I'll ask him to try once I try this first. More than likely, gonna have to do this anyway. Another reason why I'm landing in this hangar is hopefully the 30k heartbeat will work. So even if for whatever reason we crash on the way, we save the cargo. And normally landing your ship in a hangar helps with dealing with that. Because I may, like if Silence can't do it either, we may actually have to swap servers. Because it could be a server issue. Silence, I'll need you to try it.
Okay.
Climbing up.
Oh yeah, just a little bit of a dance. Nelson, I'll go through all the steps in a moment, one thing at a time.
Nope.
Alright, hold on. I'm gonna get off the ship.
Your engines are off, you know that, right?
Yeah, I turned them off. Turned them off in case the ship started trying to take off on its own. I found once I get out of the seat, it gets a phantom input to pitch up.
I've had many issues in the whole A, in atmospheric landing areas, pads and outposts and everything, that it feels like it's under the ground a little bit. Still no work.
Hold up, let me see if it... Need to wait for it to say that I'm no longer a part of the ship channel.
Yeah.
Come on, I'm well away. There we go.
There you are.
Try it now.
Noob.
Alright, I'm gonna store the ship, pull it back out, see if I can do it then.
We've also had issues with the reclaimer stealing people's souls when it gets stored. For the last month and a half or so, we had one of our newer members, I think it was Alien, his body was stuck inside it, meaning you couldn't bedlog, and I believe we also had issues selling. However, he was still able to play normally. And very recently, on Tuesday's event, my girlfriend managed to get stuck inside the wall.
GG.
So she got to watch us having food while she was stuck in the wall. We thought storing the ship would save her. There was no issues. And then when we boarded out yesterday, it turned out she was still there. With party marker as well, which was a little bit more concerning.
Alright, I've just stored the ship, Silence. Whereabouts are you?
I noticed. I'm in the hangar. I got out the ship before I got stuck inside the wall.
Okay. We're about to call it back out.
Welcome.
No worries,
to
Cole.
the
Thanks for
ASOP
dropping in, man.
vehicle retrieval
Catch you later,
system.
mate.
Vehicle selected. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Please visit us again.
I'm at Hangar 7 now, Silence.
What a guess. It wasn't there, so it wasn't in Hangar 6 still, so I just went.
Alright, just wait outside. I'll try and fuel it up now. Don't get on the hangar.
Right.
Don't get on the... Don't get on here. You stay. You stay out. Honestly, I think this is a server issue because I've tried refueling at Everest Harbour, Port Tressler. Where else have I tried? Well, obviously here. Huzzah! It worked!
Yay!
Yay!
Maybe it's just your bad parking job. They couldn't align the fuel nozzle.
Chris Roberts just tuned in. He's like, oh shit. Shit. They can't refuel their ship. I'm gonna fix this right now. Hang on, agents, I've got you.
It's like the comedian saying how God made airplanes fly as a prank. So he manually kept them up in the air. But when everyone started doing it, he started to have to pick up every airplane. And over time, only bad things are constantly happening because he's being distracted by having to keep all of these airplanes flying. Same thing here. Chris, as a prank, made refueling work without a Starfarer, and then now he's had to constantly do it. Every time it doesn't work, that means he's being distracted by something else. That's why this game's so buggy. Oh no, now it works. I was about to complain that your Xbox is broken.
Fuel is at 100%.
Oh. We're fueled up.
Oh, you don't even have any good games installed. Fuck this, I'm going back to the turret.
Alright guys, Caterpillar's all fueled up. We're about to leave. Man.
Launch complete. Landing gear up.
Why are the markers fucking up again? we are on the way. Man, where were the pack rats with the Starfarer? Silence. I'm fucking muted for them. Silence. Where's the pack rats with the Starfarer?
What?
Where's the pack rats with the Starfarer?
Something pack rat, something Starfarer.
Yeah, where are they?
Where are they?
Yeah.
Pretty sure one of them's asleep and the other one's asleep. At least that's the excuse I keep hearing. It's probably going to be my next buy, though.
Yeah.
I'm down a few funds now that I bought the Caterpillar. I need to make sure that I still have the bank funds actually existing. Can't use them.
Well, what is it? We can do some convoy tomorrow. Convoy ops with the pack rats.
You said you wanted to do something more interesting.
Yeah, but if we need to grind out credits for the Starfarer, we can do that.
Quantum drive is now off.
Could do that, or we can do some salvage jobs.
Yeah, I'm up for that. As long as we're making credits. You know, if we want to get you a Starfarer so that we can actually use that for refueling for the mobile harbour, then we might as well, you know, work towards earning the credits to get that.
You have a vulture, right?
Not on this account anymore, no. Used to.
Right.
Captain Dirtybeard.
Ironically, we've been looking at the illegal salvage missions because they're actually pretty decent payouts.
Yeah.
But I don't think if it's just the two of us, a reclaimer might be a little bit heavy to use. But it's more for the boxes, from what I've understood. Is the 4 cargo boxes are, because there's Widow in there as well, it's like 100k, and you pay in 30. Would have
Care
been
bearing
better
it
for a
up.
cartel stream, to be honest.
If you're Dirty, if you're asking if we're care bearing it up, we're doing asset moving for the Raider team who are currently flying escort for us. They acquired a, what's it called? M2 full of gold. Unless Dastardly wasn't pulling our leg and we literally moved 522 SCU of fucking aluminium. I was about to say I'd be angry, but I'd be like, that's my fault for not checking. It's my fault for trusting somebody by the name of Dastardly Thoughts. Such a space stamp.
About tomorrow, I'm actually not sure if I can make it for long, because we have bookings at 1 already, and I only get my shift in like something like 10 hours. So I'll find out tonight if I can even do the stream tomorrow. Hopefully I can.
That's alright.
I won't be able to next week though, because I'm officially on holiday for a week. Actually, more like 2 weeks, to be honest.
The stream has been going for 2.5 hours now. At around the 1 hour mark, we started moving boxes. "100% Blake, that's why I created the Stellar Packrat Logistics and the Mer-X Cartel. So that we can, you know, seek out those who are interested in the logistical side of criminal and lawful gameplay, seek them out and give them purpose, and also cover the gaps in capability that we're missing."
My end goal dream is to have, you know, the support services running simultaneously as to people just casually making normal monies and just collating that together. It's not my end goal example, but this is an example that could show what I'm meaning. So for example, we're going to have Pyro and Nyx. We say, okay, we're going to go as an org, we're going to go into the Pyro system, we're going to have those support services up and running, moving cargo back and forth, moving ships back and forth, doing all the stuff that we need to do. And whilst we're doing that, we also have our own people, our own Packrats doing the legal side of things, going to outposts, picking up artifacts, picking up rare items, mining rare minerals, bringing all that back to safe locations, and then moving all of that over to Stanton to sell. Or going through Nyx to have it refined first, where we have other Packrats currently doing mining, just generally, and picking that up and going to sell. Just a huge chain of everything going on at the same time. Because I know there's people that won't be too interested in every aspect that we do. Some people couldn't care less about cargo but love to go mining. I want them to have a place in the org at some point, just making passive income for us. But our focus is at the support services as well.
Well, at the end of the day, like, everybody doing activity that makes money helps, you know, fill the org coffers, which can then be utilized to sustain the org when we're in warlike operations, which will happen.
Just need to pump those numbers up. Numbers.
Yeah. Need to get the recruitment message out there more. Yeah, a proper bank as opposed to fucking just handing them over to the senior officers. Well, the bloody Packrat bank doesn't count.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval.
We do want a real org bank to exist as well,
though. The way that we handle payouts to the org coffer is that the org coffer gets a share based on the number of members present. So if it's like a solo hit, they don't have to pay an org share to the org coffers. But if there's like 2 or more, it's like half a share. I think it's like, there's ratios, but there's a certain point where it's like, if you've got, you know, like 10 or so more people, the share I think that you're paying to the org coffers is like 1.5, and the reason for that is to try and encourage not using huge teams, like teams that are large enough to complete the hit, move the boxes, but small enough that you know, everybody can get a reasonable amount of cargo. Or correction, a reasonable amount of credits. But we register our hits in our organization website, and it does all the calculations. We set all the thresholds and that up. What do we do with the money in the coffer? Well, it's there for the officers or the senior officers to deal out how they see fit. So if somebody does need credits for a ship or something like that, or they need credits for components or anything like that, they can give them credits out of that. You've been paying all coffers for solo hits? Blake, what are you doing, mate?
It's called a donation.
Dastardly wasn't fully lying. There was aluminium there. But there's 173 SEU of gold. Get a screenshot of that. Alright, so let's confirm. No, I leave it to the discretion of the senior officers. "100% Captain Dirtybeard. The more the merrier. If they're into logistical gameplay, and they want people to play with, and they want to be a part of an organised group, send them to the pack rats. They'll have to put up with people like Silence, but, you know, he's bearable.
He also may be getting overthrown in a coup any day now.
Soon, very soon.
That's why I'm taking a, relatively speaking, aggressive cut from
Set
the
yourself
bank.
up.
For the bank, rather. For one, yeah. For one, if it does happen, I can either A, fuck off with all of it, or B, pay it out and be like, bribe them. Bribe Kitty with all the money and be like, this buys me like 60 days of freedom, right?
You just aren't pirates. It's fine, man. Well, you Dirty, that's one of the reasons why I made the pack rats and the you know, cartel, is that I know that there are players out there who love what we do, who want to support what we do, but don't want to be pirates. And Mongrel Squad is a pirate first organization. And they don't have, you know, a lot of people who are joining our logistical orgs just have no interest in doing piracy at all, but they want to be a part of what we're doing.
Quite a few, I've spoken about this several times, quite a few really love the logistical that goes behind all of it. You know, just like Agents always like saying, you always like saying that piracy is player created content. It's, what's the famous words that you always use?
Emergent gameplay.
That's the one, it's emergent gameplay, and on top of that, the rest that comes along with it, with all that logistics, is just as emergent. And that's what they're really looking forward to as well, some of them.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle.
Some are also here just because they really fucking like the casual banter that we have going on. They just like the people that are here. Like playing with the people that are actually minded enough to bother with an actual org that does actual org related stuff, instead of saying, hey look, we're an org, we focus on mining. Go have fun.
Vehicle selected.
Yeah.
We actually do shit together.
To the following
Kingy.
Please visit us again.
Getting death threats. You're not even playing the game and you're already getting death threats. Yeah, I caught up with the messages in all comms over in the Mongrel Squad server. That's insane though, man, that he fucking... that they went that far to stalking your Instagram account and shit like that. Like, that is like next level crazy shit. So I need to find out who I need to send these credits to. Hey guys, who am I sending the credits to? Who's handling the hit?
Sounds like a Loki problem to me.
Perfect. No worries, Kingy. Thanks for dropping in, man. Stay safe. You can never be too paranoid. Castral's lead? Alright, I'll send it to Castral then. How much was it again? So 1.16 plus 109.4. Math is hard. I'm just gonna do generic numbers. So it was 116023. Pretty sure that there's more trailing numbers, but I don't care right now. Plus 1094. Right. I'm gonna just send that all over to Castral. I'm just going to tell them to put us down for shares silence on the hit, since they pretty much help move all the boxes. So 1, 2. Mo Trader. There we go. Where's Castral? There he is. So I'm sending 1269400. 1269400. That's one. And then we'll go send. Screenshot of that. Just got to send a DM to Castral to make sure he's able to fill out the hit. And I'll link him the messages that are sent so that he can process the hit. Alright, that's all that admin shit out of the way. What's the time? Fuck's sakes. Alright, we're gonna make our way back to Everest Harbour. I'm gonna have to call it a night. Man.
You are clear to launch.
Are we still in the same party? Yes, we are. Hey guys, I gotta call it a night, so I'm gonna take the Caterpillar back to Everest Harbour in preparation for tomorrow's stream, but myself and Silence will be offline for accepting any sort of hits. Can I fuel up before I leave? Nope, we should have enough fuel to get back to Everest Harbour. more than enough. Well, let's roll.
Launch complete. Landing gear up.
If we do the salvage missions, what would our goal be? The salvage or just the cargo?
Whatever can make us enough credits to get a Starfarer. So I'd say just grabbing the boxes. Like,
And then we should just take a simple cargo ship that can take several and just do a few in a row and then go sell, right?
yeah, yeah. What is it? You know, the in the wake of disaster salvaging mission, the one that you pay 150k for. So you pay the 150k, and normally you'll get like a box with or a ship that's got Orison hides, or yeah, Saurian hides, and Weevil eggs, and a few drug boxes as well. And there's also a bunch of ore boxes that you can't, you know, do anything with.
The question is if we have them unlocked yet. Because I only have... Oh, I have Wake of Disaster. Okay. Then let's grab a ship that can take boxes. Not too small, so we can do chain several of these together, I guess. Because from what I understand, the 30k ones also have good boxes. It's an open one though. Other people can also get that.
The Wake of Disaster mission, yeah, it's set up so that like anybody should be able to pick it up. Where is it? As long as it's running. Because it's a special mission. There you go. In the Wake of Disaster. Normally I found you only have to do a couple of illegal salvaging missions if it's not showing up. But there's been other times where it just hasn't. Like it just shows up straight away and I haven't had to pay anything. So if we need to, like we can run in the Wake of Disaster. Normally you make it about 170k per mission. Actually no, it ends up being more.
Quantum fuel is at 50%.
I think it's a Weevil eggs that's 220,000 per SCU. The Saurian hides are like 170k. This is all off the top of my head, so I could be getting these backwards. And then you got the extra drug boxes there, which can, you know, range in value anywhere between 30 to, you know, 90,000 credits. So you can make a fair bit from doing those missions. We just go to each one, just grab the boxes, then, you know, leave. Pick up the next one, rinse and repeat.
Sounds good. Really hope that I'm not at work tomorrow then.
Quantanium boxes can spawn as well.
I've heard that, yeah. The 30k missions, I believe, we got one. Slam, Widow, can't remember what the third thing was, and a Quantanium box on the 30k. Or 30,000, rather.
Man, I'm waiting for this game to catch back up. Alright, we finally got back on. You've hit someone who had slam and quantanium, and I want to hit a quant hauler. Unfortunately, finding them is bloody damn near impossible now.
Why?
Because finding quant is bloody extremely hard for most players. And then finding somebody who's refined the quant and, you know, being able to intercept them, it's just one of those things where it's like, it's easier for players to make more credits from cargo running now than it is quant hauling or quantanium mining and hauling, which is why we're seeing more players do run cargo. Pretty much, you've got those who are dedicated to the profession that they want to do in Star Citizen, then you've got the vast majority who are just trying to make the most amount of credits in the easiest way possible as quickly as possible, which is why we're seeing such a large uptick in players doing cargo hauling. It's definitely a tidy sum, 696 of quantanium, and oh god, I got this high ping issue again. Hope you're ready for this silence. At least I don't have a Legba here to bloody one punch man me to death. I downloaded that stream as well. I've got to cut that part of the video up. Because there's a part of it where I sit there and I pretty much predict what's going to happen, and then like 15 minutes later, it all happens. Silence, what's your B win at?
Out 0.5, in it's fluctuating between 0.3 and 3.0. 0.25.
Make a short out of it, 100% Blake. That was my intent. Because my B win is currently fluctuating between 4 and 5. And it's apparently slowly catching up. Silence, what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit out of the game, and I'll get you to fly the Caterpillar to Eversar because my game is not... Oh, hold up. Shit. Just sounded like we're about to quantum travel. I'm going to exit. Not dealing with that. Not going through all that again. Did I disappear from the chair, Silence?
Yeah, you got out ages ago. You're Well, frankly, it looked like you were about to leave a turd.
Alright. I'm going to be closing off the stream now, everybody. Thank you very much for coming along. I stream every Sunday, Monday. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. Oh, no. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Start at 7:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time, GMT plus 10. Except for Tuesdays, which is going to be an 8 PM start. And every day is slightly a little bit different. So Sundays is the Cartel stream, Monday is the Pack Rat stream, Tuesday is the Mongrel Squad reaction stream, Wednesday is my dogfighting stream, and then Friday is our Piracy stream with the Mongrel Corps complete. And the aim of the game is to showcase gameplay in Star Citizen and advertise the organizations that make up the Mongrel Corps. And Tuesdays is to react and rant about bloody Star Citizen things and issues and Care Bears and all that sort of stuff. And then Wednesdays is pretty much just me punishing myself, trying to get good at flight combat. So next stream is going to be tomorrow, Monday, 7:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to be going out to make credits, more than likely through salvaging, depending on who shows up from the pack rats. If not, I will go back to hauling cargo and trying to, hauling cargo around Hurston and seeing if somebody shows up to pirate me. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But that's it from me, everybody. Thank you very much for coming along to watch, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.